Hi. So this evening we've got a beer from York Brew Co. So they're based on Warmgate in York. You ever get a chance to visit York? Warmgate's one of the streets in the city centre. Well worth a visit to York. It's a lovely city. So what we've got tonight is the Juice Forsyth. So this is a fruited IPA. I'm not sure that there's actually any fruit in it, but we're looking at the list of the hops that are in there. So we've got Citra hops, we've got CTZ, we've got Mosaic, and we've got Cascade. So Mosaic is it's a varietal that is sort of developed from Simcoe. So you get that really sort of piney, fruity flavour to it. The CTZ, 3 different hops that all come under CTZ. Zeus is one of them. I can't remember the names of the other 2, but typically you're looking at quite a sort of citrusy, grapefruity flavour from those. Citra, again, that's very much a fruity hop with an almost grapefruit flavour to it. And this grapefruit flavour is fairly typical of the IPAs, the American style IPAs that you see more of on the market today. Not the strongest IPA, it's just 5%, this one. Yeah, let's give it a go. I say Juice Forsyth. They advertise it as being a juicy bonus fruited IPA. So let's have a go. Tonight's glass is actually a beer festival glass from the Otley Beer Festival. I remember going to the first Otley Beer Festival when we first moved down into North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, from Tyneside where we lived for quite some time. So on pouring it, this one it's quite a cloudy IPA. Again, that's fairly typical with the IPAs that are brewed with these hops. The hops are added quite late on in the boil, and quite a lot of the resins in the hops they make for quite a cloudy beer. It's becoming quite common amongst IPAs these days that the craft IPAs, particularly with these American style hops, that give you that very fruity flavour, they are quite cloudy. Bit of a culture shock if you're of my generation, but there we go. So on the nose, it's very definitely grapefruit. The first thing that hits you there is grapefruit, and it's quite a powerful grapefruit scent. Again, there's almost a savoury note that you find in some of these IPAs. I think that comes from the malts, but let's give it a go. So it's quite orangey. I think that's the first thing that comes to me with this first taste on the first hit. Is definitely an orangey flavour. I don't think it. And then mango, yeah. There's very definitely a mango hint to that, and that's quite typical of these late hopping American style craft IPAs. You get that fruit character to it. So the pineapple, mango. So the first taste that you get from this is very definitely citrus. It's definitely orange. It's more orange than grapefruit. And usually with a Citra hopped IPA, I expect to get grapefruit first. This one's very definitely an orange flavour that you get. That mellows into a mango, pineapple, tropical fruit flavour. It's quite a rounded drink. It's one that you could drink quite happily. You could certainly sit and drink this for a fair old session. So there we go. Juice Forsyth from York Brewing Company on Warmgate in York. I'll have to have a trip over to York, just jump on the train and have a wander over and have a bit of a session over there. I'll take the camera along and we can record some bits and pieces there. Coming up, early September, I've got a beer festival to go to down at Barrow Hill in Chesterfield. We'll record some bits and pieces from that. That should be quite an interesting take. Still a couple of beers left from the Turning Point Disco Royalty box. I just thought I'd try something different this weekend. And this one actually came from Morrison's supermarket. It's on the shelf in the local Morrison's in Yorkshire. It's one of the local brews that they're promoting at the moment, and that's a great idea. And it's good to see that they're not sort of cutting the cost on these beers. They're actually returning a decent return to these small local companies, and I'm all for supporting that. So yeah, York Brewing, Juice Forsyth, give it a go. Cheers.